On the bottom left side of the map in the blue, he is the best PvZ player in the damn world for DPG. It's herO. And the upper right side of the map in the red, he's looking so good tonight. It's Solar. And I just love how the universe told me, hey, Bayo, you're going to cast herO Solar tonight. And then herO doesn't show up to the matchup for the Alpha X tournament that I was doing. Sleeps in, I guess. And then we get the semifinals, and it's Solar versus herO. So we get the matchup anyways. And it's honestly kind of for similar-ish pricing. Winner of this series gets $100. At the very least, they move into the finals. Loser of the series gets $50. That's pretty much... That's almost exactly what the show match prize pool was. Less any Matcherino profits. So it is, the only difference is, of course, this is a best of 3, not a best of 5. But in all else, the universe, the StarCraft gods giveth and StarCraft gods taketh away. This is hilarious to me. But I have not seen herO's PvZ for a couple weeks now. I had a really good pulse on where he was evolving the style. Really, up until Valencia, he was playing it a lot. I got to cast a lot of it. It was awesome. But he's been playing in Open Cups less since GSL happened, and he's been prepping for other tournaments in TSL, and, well, he has not been playing online as much recently. So I'm about 3 weeks, 4 weeks out of date on the intricacies of the herO style. Or as Steadfast likes to call it, the Swarm Toss style. So, well, this is something very different. I don't know whether this is going to be for Glaives. It probably is, seeing a Twilight this early, but seeing herO not open up. Seeing herO not open up with the Stargate is kind of interesting. That especially on a map like Data Sea that is so big and has so much dead airspace. You feel like an Oracle would is really the best way to open here. But for now, Solar's going to keep the Overlord alive. And these S-shapes are kind of funny in that not every part of it is dead airspace. It's like the pylons, but the gaps between the gaps between the spots are not dead airspace. You can actually provide vision. So, of course, Solar is aware of this. But, oh, DT drops are actually going to be the name of the game from Solar in the first game of this series. And we've started to see DT play start to enter the meta more and more. In fact, we saw a lot of North American pro players right after the patch, the Void Ray patch. They kind of nerfed them pretty heavily. We saw them messing around with DT drops. Or in this case, DT warp-ins, not even drops. And then all the Protoss and all the Zergs told me, it's not going to be a thing. It's figured out. It's not good. Well, here's the best PvZ player in the world. He's going for it. And we're starting to see him do it a little bit more. Curious to see how well this one works out. As the pylon is done. Well, the Dark Shrine about 3/4 of the way done. 80%. And herO, no Spore in the third base. No Spore in the natural. He's building a Roach Spore, and he's got the wrong read on this. He thinks this is... you know what? This may just work out really well for herO here. Solar has the read that this is Glaive play. He's building a ton of Lings. This is... He's not even going to say... Well, okay, so he saw the warp in briefly, I think. Or at least, maybe that's a visual bug. You don't really see warp ins, though. Anyways, Spore is on the way in the third base in the natural. So the first two positions that the DTs are going to show up in, Ling's on the other side. But DTs, they can just snipe this Spore right on down. Queen's going to die to start, but they got to back up. They say, not worth it. And Ling's looking for the surround. herO needs to dive into the third base, but he will not. So they get a Queen. And behind this, Blink on the way. Forge on the way. Third base about halfway done. It's pressure. Already, herO is transitioning out of this. He's not going for the same amount of... He's not going for the 2 base all in, or not committing heavily to this. Not that he could, really, without a Warp Prism. But certainly, Ling's on the other side of the map. I mean, you're not going to delay this third base. With DT's defensively, bad chance. So, Solar, now he lost a Queen. Lost a couple Lings. herO has, of course, not lost anything. But I feel like if you go with Dark Shrine first, you want something a little more. I don't know. But how does Solar look to punish herO for the opening that he has chosen for himself. He doesn't know that this pylon is here, but he saw that, I think he saw the direction the DTs came in from, so that should be that. This Overlord will finally die, but that is 6 minutes of vision that the Overlord has provided, so it can go now to its eternal home. Very, very happy with the value that it has provided. Now the robo is done. Ling's looking for a run by, but Stalkers and Sentries and Adepts and all that say, no, you don't get to do that one. Immortal on the way. Okay. But this will be, I guess, Disruptor play behind this. This is a very different style coming out of herO than we have seen, really, that he is than what he's been making his name on over the last, what, 6 months? Pretty much since King of Battles 2, when he lost to Raynor, we started to see the building blocks, the beginnings of that style. And then eventually, well, it became this setup where he did not lose a single series in PvZ from the moment that he lost to Raynor in King of Battles until he lost to Dark in Valencia semifinals? Quarterfinals, whatever it was. Until he lost to Dark at Valencia, he did not lose a single series. He had like a 92% map win rate or something absolutely ridiculous. And he's lost a series here or there. Now he lost to Sue in the Gladiator, in the Alpha X Gladiator Cup, and the $5,000 Alpha X Gladiator Cup, things like that. But in general, he is still as strong as ever. We are seeing more. It's like I don't know. Maybe college football is a good compare, or college football is a good comparison because, well, college football has just started. But it's like, you know, the first game of the season or first bit of time where your team is still figuring things out. You don't open up the entire playbook. Now as that scouting DT will go down, you have a limited amount, and as the team gets more comfortable, as the games go on, as the season goes on, the playbook gets opened up. The playbook gets expanded. You're able to do more things. That is certainly what herO is going for here. Charge on the way, just about done. His fourth base mostly complete, and interesting shield battery setup. Normally you kind of clump them together so Lings can't get surrounds, but I guess if you're worried about Biles, maybe. That is going to be that. Well, herO continues to be able to scout things. What was attacking this? DT was not I guess Solar attacked that at one point, but now herO on the map. He's got a couple disruptors. It's only one for the moment. And where's our War Prism? It has speed, by the way. It's a speedy boy. Oh, I guess disruptors got the damage on the Hydra. Okay. A disruptor drops. Trying to find a little bit of value, and now, well, Zealots are here and tag defense. Yeah, this is not going to get much done. But I'm worried about the tech transition we see coming. Oh, okay, he gets a drone, but really not much more than that. I'm worried about the tech transition coming out of herO here, or excuse me, out of Solar. He's got lurkers on the way, adrenal glands, seismic spines. He's got Vipers on the map. The army that herO has is very good against things that are not Hive Tech Zerg. Once Vipers pop out, disruptors are kind of useless. You got to get some really good feedbacks, and that is, of course, it's an arms race. High Templar feedback and Viper Abduct, they share the same range. So you're always trying to get the first clicks off. There it is. Always a little bit spooky. His disruptor shots again. How much has he gotten? A couple workers. Really not much. This has been a surprise, considering how herO has generally played PvZ. This has been a surprisingly uninteractive series. The Vipers are. That's actually going to be a great scout here from herO, because he needs to know what's happening. He needs to know where he needs to position things. But he's just transitioning this Sky Toss here on, well, on 4 bases. He's set up on 4 bases. There really hasn't been a lot happening. Finally, we're going to see something die in this game. Now it's 3 Zealots, a Pylon, and a High Templar. All that hero's lost this game. And actually, the interesting thing about this, because of the Warp Prism pressure that herO has been able to put on, and just I gotta say, in part probably the reputation that herO has, Solar is only just now getting his 5th base. He does not have this massive economic lead. He's gonna go, what is in here? He's got mass drops. He's got, what is that, 6 lurkers, for like 6 Hydras, a bunch of roaches in this drop on the north side. Oh, those force fields are gonna, well, they're gonna kill the stalkers. as the, well, lurkers will morph up, and there we go. Abduct on a sentry, not maybe what you want. Immortal, though, that's a little bit more powerful, but he's going to be able to get back. So nice start to the fight here from herO. Maybe looking to drop something. What is he? Drop Zealots. Okay, Zealots not really going to be all that much, but herO has to be careful. There are two cannons. They're going to target the, well, actually, they're not going to get anything, really. Lurkers are going to burrow up here. herO needs to recall. And there he will, but the army on the right side going to try to crush the space. I think herO just gives the base up. He says, you know what? I need to deal with this one. Storm's blanket everything, but the lurkers are still, they're still scary in that. Oh, wait, no, the disruptor, it's caught. It's really hard to get on top of him. There's no detection. There is no detection here. Solar, the multi-prong, he finds himself up about 50 supply. And Solar's looking very good in this game. The base is dead. Actually, it's a kill, not a cancel. The lurkers are still finding value. This disruptor shot just can't do anything. It has 11 kills, but it's locked in here. And now with the Robo going down, I mean, there's not a whole lot more that I can do. The lurker drop is okay. Now finally, this disruptor has arrived. Finally, the detection is here. That was a lot of tech, a lot of production being removed from herO's side of the map, and now Solar trying to swarm forward. It's 5 bases to 4, 6 base on the way. Carriers joining the fray. These Vipers have to be very, very. That Viper is dead to feedback. Stalkers play forward. They get one Viper. Well, Blinding Cloud does what it can. Disruptor is, well, I guess it's tanking here. Stalkers move forward. They get another Viper. They do 2 Vipers down. A lot of the strength now of Solar's army, it's removed. And this army that Solar has, it's pretty heavy on the timing. It's a bunch of Hydras. They have +2. They're going to have +3, and they have Carapace, sure. But with +1 air, just about done. Only 1 Viper on the field. Disruptor shots, though, they're not really going off. Big storm there. 1 Abduct on the Disruptor, but, well, actually, I'm kind of, well, okay, there we go. Those are going to be some dead Hydra. Storm knock everything down. This is supremely cost-effective. I was worried about the Lings. There just was not quite enough, but the High Templars had more than enough storms. Now, herO moves forward. How many carriers does he have in the field? He's got 2. Stalkers blink forward. They move back just a little bit. Storms on the Hydras, and I feel like herO may have just killed him. We have 5 Hydras, 10 Roaches on the way. This base is dead. But oh, that's what it is. We got another drop on the other side of the map. That is where the army is. It's got a target down low. The Dark Shrine, that's going to be nice. But this army from herO, it's in the main base. Stalkers are there on the drop. It's in the 3rd base. That's dead. Carriers should be able to defend this, except they're not really here. Do we have a recall? We do. herO, he's just waiting on that. He says, you know what, I'm going to win this base trade. As the, well, if that's a dead Viper, herO's not going to target it down. DT's in the army with really minimal detection. And I'm somewhat surprised to see, yeah, okay, no, herO just, did he recall? No, he just moves, he warped his Stalkers back at home, and that is killing pretty much everything. Mothership on the field as well. So it's funny, I look at this, it's like, the army supplies are somewhat equal. But it just feels so much better for herO right now. And now, Mothership Core will get abducted. Folks, you know what to do. -400, -400. Spam it. Do it. Stalkers blink forward. The Mothership really didn't find all that much value, but Solar is going to really struggle to hold positions now. He's got lurkers. Sure, they're great at doing that. But Stalkers, they can blink on top, move it, kill it anytime it's moving out. And with the carriers here, just the consistent damage from the air, it does so much. With the Disruptors as well, whenever the lurkers decide to burrow and up, storms on the Hydras once again. But now carriers moving forward, lurkers, excuse me, moving forward. But do we have detection? Actually, I think, yeah. Okay, the Observer was killed, which means that herO can't really take this fight anymore. That is the goal of the Overseer and the Hydras. They just, if they target down the Observer, they deny the fight. Stalkers blink forward. Oh, those are some big lurker spines, but another Viper dies. Storm's there on top of the army. Hydra's trying to knock 1 carrier down. They will be successful. herO, though, he's got a decent bank. The one thing I'm, well, actually, hero's kind of all in. Wait a minute, he's only on 4 bases. He never retook the 5th. That means he cannot really afford it. I mean, he's got a bank, but he can't really afford upgrades despite that bank. And Solar still has very much hope in this game. He's on 5 bases. He has +3 attack on these lurkers. They shred things. But Zealots, they're just gonna click on the base. Well, no, I guess they're going to kill Hydras and then maybe click on the base, but they're only +2 versus 3-1 Hydras, 1-1 Lings. They don't really kill things all that. Well, not quite as well. Stargate Blink 4, but it looks like they paid dearly. They paid dearly for that blink. As Zealots run out, the base is still alive on 71 HP. War Prism can be zoned out for the moment. And this lurker count from Solar is kind of terrifying. 15 lurkers on the map. Stargate Blink forward, and again, Solar will not be supply blocked, but he's maybe got position here on the north side base. Zealots run forward, and they will, well, they're going to get eviscerated. But now herO saying, finally, I have enough pressure on the map. Finally, I've forced the Zerg back enough that I can take that 5th base. And honestly, I would like to see him take this, the 9 o'clock base as well, because this base that Solar has in the upper left is pretty much the only base that matters. Where it's going to be where herO is most likely going to be pushing through for the next several minutes until it works or it doesn't. And also, really, this position that herO has in general is very nice. He can kind of attack into 2 bases at the same time. There's a couple Lings go down, but that really is the extent of it. But the mothership as well. herO, he's positioning this mothership just a little bit better this time. The last time it just got abducted and killed. His Lings and Hydras are going to find the right side base. Only a couple Zealots to defend this, not all that much. Disruptive shots on Lurkers, but they're not going to get much of anything. Mothership, still it's a little bit far forward, is going to get abducted onto high ground, and the second abduct is not going to get anything either. It stays alive. Third abduct, and there we go. It's dead. Yeah, it's dead. -400, -400 once again. herO loses that 5th base that he just now established. And now we're at this point where the economy is really starting to hurt for herO. He's got that bank, but not a lot of reinforceability, but Zealots with that +2 on the hive as herO moves forward once again. These Vipers, though, they're finding so much value. Looking for that abduct once again. Feedback? No. The carriers, they're going to go down here. herO back down to that ground toss army once again. But he gets the hive. No more Vipers are going to join the fray here, not for a while. Zealots can off a lot of Lings. The Hydras, they arrive, but Zealots fighting Hydras are always going to be good. It's when there are Lings to buffer for them that it becomes a problem. So, herO, left side base. The base I was trying to get him to, well, I was talking about wanting him to get earlier. Lurkers are going to burr up once again. Disruptor shots. Oh my god! That's a lot of Lurkers that just went down. 12 Lurkers have died to escape. Don't know how many from that shot is more. Okay. Ling's looking for the surround, though. Hydras on the backside. This army from herO is in a bit of a spooky spot. Her Lurkers are going to burrow on top of everything. On the right side, all the Hydras are dying, but on the left side, the Lurkers reigning supreme, and the Hydras, they're not even dead. Solar feels like he's clutched this game out. He lost his hive. He's lost a lot. It's been a hard-fought game, but again, herO will not be able to keep his 5th base alive. The run-by will not be allowed to warp in. The Warp Prism is dead. herO in a bit of an uncomfortable spot. And now he just has not been able to shut down the Lurker count. And that's been the problem. He's not been able to pare it down, so the Lurkers have found value time over time over time. And you look at resources lost. In fact, it's resources lost where herO is in the deficit. About 1,000, but even still, when the Zerg has been mining so much more. But that may change a little bit here as this base will go down. I don't think there's going to be much saving it. The Zealots killing it off. The drones are still going to stay alive. And there we go. Recall saving as many Zealots as they can. And Lurkers moving forward. There's just not a lot of tech. In fact, there are no disruptors on the field. herO, he gets the base, but he loses the game. Solar, he takes game 1. The bottom left side of the map here in the red. He's losing a map against Zerg. That's not supposed to happen for DPG. It's herO. And the upper right in the blue, looking so much better since joining Onsyde. It's Solar. So game 1 was a weird build for I don't know how weird I can say it. And I feel like herO had so much more potential damage, but he didn't quite see it. And Solar, herO warped in just in range of the Overlord. That, well, Solar got it. He dropped the spores, and even if the third base was wide open, even if herO could have maybe jumped on a spore and killed it, that's one of those things where it's super dicey, and if you go in that far, you will lose the DTs if you don't do the math. So now I'm wondering if we see something a little bit more textbook herO in game 2. The DT play didn't quite work out. I mean, the game went late, and herO had opportunities to win. But it felt like it didn't get quite enough to keep Solar behind enough that by the time herO got to the army that he wanted, it was already Hive player. Vipers were already out. The ability to abduct the disruptors, it's hard to deal with. And I think that army that herO was going for wanted to fight Solar before we got there. At least start to trade. Oh, but okay, will be a Twilight once again. I don't know whether it's... Well, okay, in fairness. Everything I'm saying about standard styles, it's Waterfall. It's an Adept map. This is probably going to be Adepts from herO. However he chooses to wrinkle it is going to be another story, but the map is so small that you can... A, it's hard to take a third base, but B, you can just punish Zergs pretty easily. Or not easily, but more easily than, say, Data C. You get Adepts so far across the map so fast that it is difficult, to say the least, for Solar to defend against it. As the Adepts can look to... Or, excuse me, the Overlords looking for a scout in the main base. And, well, Stalker's going to pop out and deny that one, but... Because, of course, there is no Stargate, and that's going to be really kind of a scout here for Solar. Because the Overlord doesn't die, he's going to know, okay, this is going to be a Twilight opening. This is going to be a Robo opening of some sort. It's Waterfall. Let's be real. This is Glaive play. Especially seeing that second gateway like that. The funny thing is, I think Solar had the read that it was Glaive's last game. And then, of course, it was Dark Templar. So that may be kind of sitting in the back of his mind as something that is a little bit wonky. But there's going to be actually 3 Gate Glaives, I think, which is a much quicker third base. It's an expand build. It's kind of this mid-tempo idea. Well, as I say, it's got a Robo, though. Generally, 3 Gate Glaives... Okay, there's the 4th. I was going to say, generally, 3 Gate Glaives does not get the Robo. So for now, Warp Prism is on the way, and did I say 4 Gate Glaives? I'm sorry. We're going up to 6 Gate. herO is all-inning here in this game number 2, and I get that herO wants to open the playbook. I understand. You want to make it so you don't look like you can only do one thing. It's, oh, this is such a good scout here from Solar. He's going to see the 2 additional gateways. That is... Well, it's the difference between winning and losing a game at this point. So the Adepts now, they're on the map a little bit. Warp Prism exists. And we're going to see the first crop of 6 Adepts go in, hopefully before Solar is ready. But Lings are already there. And actually, Lings looking for a bit of a counterattack, too. But actually, yeah, this is a bit of an awkward wall here. Lings may be able to find their way in. Nope. Well, Stalker. Oh, yep, they get past the first round, but not the second round. One Stalker will go down, but Adept Shade will warp in behind. So that's that. Solar is... I mean, he really should have bought himself the time he needs by now. More and more Lings, more and more Roaches on the way, not building any more drones. He's actually cut at 37. But here... Oh, this build's so cool. This is... We talked about mind games in that last game. Yeah, he's built it warping in 4 Adepts at a time, but he canceled those 2 additional gateways. All right, there were 2 gateways right here. Now it's double Stargate. Now it's double Stargate Phoenix. Ling, though, into the main base. Oh, okay. F2. Adepts on the other side of the map, though. These are going to be a bunch of dead Adepts, though. And as smart as that mind game is, all these Adepts will die. And then you're kind of worried about your side of the map. There is not a lot stopping this. But Adepts in the middle line. Oh, Warp Prism getting very low. How many workers did he get? 2. 2 drones, 28 Lings, not really enough. With +1 Phoenix. Now, against Lings, they're useless, but that is... Oh, no! Okay. Oh, herO. The amount of times we've seen him lose games because he didn't have a wall, too many. So, He almost had a bunch of Lings in his natural. Luckily, he warped into depths just in time. Third base now going to get started because I guess he knows the Lings are back on the other side of the map. And the question now is, when does he reveal the Phoenix? Looks like the number is going to be 6. So now Phoenix steaming onto the other side of the map. Their +1 is not done, but it will be soon. And how many spores do we have? 2. Generally, the math says you want to go 2 spores per base per Stargate. So the lack of anti-air here is going to be a tremendous problem. hero's going to look to just supply block the hell out of Solar in this game. As Phoenix, they don't have +1, but they still shred Overlords. 2 of them will fall, and Phoenix into the main base, they will go. And look at what hero's doing. He's really not even trying to kill workers. He could, but he's not even trying to. Meanwhile, Lings and Roaches, they're going to find this third base. It is not going to be allowed to stay alive. The Immortal's doing what it can, but there's no shield batteries here just yet. A nice pickup micro there from hero, though. He's doing it as well as he possibly could. Phoenix, well, they don't, well, they actually, they deal with the Roaches fairly well. The Immortal now is dead, but it looks like actually, with all the Phoenix here, with +1 finishing up, these Roaches may die. I think they do die, and this pressure from Solar, yeah, it aids and it prevents the damage that hero was looking to get on the other side of the map. It buys times for spores to pop out, for Hydras to pop out, for more queens. But that was expensive. 11 Roaches, 69 Lings. Nice. But resource lost here minorly against hero compared to what it was going to be, which was very much in the favor of Solar's. Now all the queens get lifted. More Phoenix trying to arrive, target them all down. One will fall. You gotta get a second round of lifts here. There's so many queens, but they're still dying. And then at the point where the snowballs, Hydras arrive and they just get lifted. Dead bonus damage to light. Queens dying as well. Spores looking to unburrow and reburrow. That was massive there. The anti-air is sorely lacking. 7 queens just died and a couple Hydras. Now, hero has his third base. The tempo is not in Solar's favor whatsoever. This is a very playable game from hero now. It is an extremely playable game now. Eventually, the Hydra count will hit a point where it's hard to deal with. But we have so many Phoenix. 12 Phoenix on the map can fight 16 Hydras. I mean, maybe not with the HP that they're at, but I think if they're full on HP, I mean, they absolutely can. For now, this is so cool. So Adepts, they're gonna find, no, they're not. They're gonna back out. I was getting excited, a little bit too excited. Adepts do bonus damage to light. Technically, against Hydras in a void, they do very well. But Hero said, there's gonna be too much here. So he gets another Overlord, finds that there's a 4th base on the way. Ling's looking for a run by, and a couple get in, but it's more of a scout than anything else. Immortal's going to be able to clean these up. This Ling, we have Jerry, we have the second Jerry of this tournament. We had the one Ling against Beyond that killed like 7 SCVs, and this Ling was chewing away for a little bit, but doesn't get quite as much. And now, well, hey, the Phoenix bomb on top of a bunch of Hydras. They're dead. Bonus damage to light does a lot. So now we only have, well, we have 22 Hydras on the map, but a bunch more did fall. And behind this charge lot, Storm, Immortals, the army of hero is getting much more complex. And even though the supply is up 30 for Solar in terms of army supply, the complexity of the army from hero, or even just what has been built for this army, is very much in the favor of hero, right? He's got Storm. Storm against Hydraling Bane. Very, very good. Immortals here to buffer for to tank the Banes. Very nice indeed, as another Overlord will fall. And this one does supply block Solar just a little bit. As a hero trying to dive in. He says, man, maybe there's too many spores there. Oh, these Hydras will die. Okay, yeah. Hero just turns corner. He says, you just don't have enough. You try to knock this down, but I have a lot of lifts. And I will absolutely punish here. A bunch of Hydras go down. Supply starts to equalize a little bit more now. It's only a 12, 14 army, 16 army, 18 army supply lead. And the army of Solar comes in. Bailey Speed is not yet done. Drop the Storms on top of them all. But he's going to need round 2 where that came from once again. Now Bailey Speed is done, but actually good target fire on a lot of those Banes. They do not really get the connections they're looking for. Last Bailey run forward. High Templar still stay alive now. Well, there's no Banes. And, well, Hydra's... Oh, it looks like a lot of Phoenix died on the backside to the rally. So hero, he's in a bit of a pickle now. I don't know how many more Storms he has. Phoenix are going to dive in, lifting as much as they can. Bailey's going to come crashing on in. This is not enough army for hero. I thought the Storms were going to be good enough, but he lost too many Phoenix trying to deal with the rally. And now the Hydras they're reigning supreme. That one High Templar, it needs a little bit more energy, I think. Yeah, it's got 50. It needs 25 seconds. It is not going to have that. In fact, targeted down. A depth warped in to try to deal with these Hydras. Now the last of the Phoenix are dead. The last of the warp. I think there was maybe a warp prism. They're all going to go down. Adept's going to shade on top of everything here, but they're shredded. They do not have enough. This build was super cool. This build was super cool from herO, but Solar just kind of killed him. Losing all those Phoenix as the push from Solar happened was really the unforgivable sin that is going to give Solar his second finals in as many weeks. I mean, for herO, really, it is all over, but the crying Ravagers in the main base will die eventually, but it's up 100 supply. herO loses another ZVP series. Not something we've come to expect from the man, but Solar is looking so good. Let's see what he can do against Gumiho.